This is the solution video for Unit 6 review problem number 17. So dy dx equals the cube root of x squared y, right? And the problem says to solve the differential equation, right? So if I have dy dx, I want to find y equals, right? Remember, that's what it means to solve for a differential equation. So I have to separate my variables. All right, so the first thing is that the cube root goes to both the x squared and the y. So I have to deal with that, right? So first of all, you could rewrite it as a 1/3 power, of course, right? But the 1/3 power can just go to both of those. So if I have x squared to the 1/3, I multiply those powers. So that's really just x to the 2/3 times y to the 1/3. Right. And so now when I have dy dx equals, I can separate my variables. I'm going to multiply by dx and I'm going to divide by y to the 1/3. So dy divided by y to the 1/3 equals x to the 2/3 divided by, sorry, not divided by, times dx. All right, so now as soon as I separate the differentials, I am ready to integrate. So I can integrate both sides. All right, now on the left side, I really need to remember that if I have dy divided by y to the 1/3, that's really like y to the negative 1/3. So when I integrate, I'm going to add 1 to negative 1/3 to get y to the positive 2/3 and then divided by 2/3. All right. And then, of course, plus c, but I'm going to add that in on the other side. So now x to the 2/3, I'm going to add 1 to that. That becomes x to the 5/3 divided by 5/3, and then the plus c. Now, in this particular problem, you're not given any information about initial conditions. So you cannot get a specific solution. So the best thing that you can do is have this general solution. All right. So now, the only thing that would be different is that I have this divided by 2/3 and divided by 5/3. So I might write that as 3/2 x, sorry, not x, y to the 2/3 equals 3/5. Sorry, not 3/5. Yeah, I'm dividing by 5/3. I apologize. This is dividing by 2/3. So this is multiplied by 3/2. All right. So 3/5 x to the 5/3 plus c. All right. And then I think on my answer sheet, I just have multiplied everything by 3/2, or sorry, by 2/3 to get rid of that. So my answer on the answer sheet is 2/3, or sorry, y to the 2/3 equals. Now here on the right side, the threes would reduce. So I get 2/5 x to the 5/3 plus c. Now I don't have to multiply the c by 2/3 because 2/3 of c, or 2/3 of an arbitrary constant, is still just an arbitrary constant. So we just write plus c. Okay, so this is the answer that I have on the answer sheet. But you could also have an explicit solution by getting rid of the 2/3 power, and that would be by raising both sides to the 3/2 power. So I would have 2/5 x to the 5/3 plus c, and raised to the 3/2 power, right? Now, remember, if I raise to the 3/2 power, that's really the square root of cubed. And so I would have to include a plus or minus on the outside. Now, depending on the initial condition, we would have to select one of the plus or minuses, right? Right. So remember, this really means the plus or minus the square root of 2/5 x to the 5/3 plus c cubed, right? So important to keep that